What's going on, everybody? zxevik here, bringing you some Pokemon Go Battle League content. In today's video, we're looking at the Master League Premier Classic and my best team for the Master League Premier Classic. We've got probably the strongest core in the entire game on this page here. Metagross with Garchomp, and then Haxorus being the ultimate Corebreaker in and of itself just makes this team flow so well by drawing out, a Charmer with the Garchomp, and then Haxorus can typically just sweep the rest of the game because a lot of people are double, triple weak to Haxorus. You'd be surprised. This team looks very similar to the one Wallower posted on his channel a few days ago. We just happen to be running very similar teams, and honestly, if you don't have a Haxorus, that's okay. The same team that he ran with the Gyarados works perfectly fine with it, so either way you go, this team is super strong. I went like 22-3 with this team yesterday. It's insane. So I'm going to let these battles speak for themselves. You can see the moveset's on the right. The team is an ABB team, so the strategy is pretty easy to figure out. You just save swap the Garchomp, and with double... or with Dragon Tail and Sand Tomb, you can pretty much two-shield through almost everything in this map. So, Dream lead here. We've got Togekiss against the Metagross, and Metagross is going to be met by a safe swap Magnezone, which will then in kind be met with my Garchomp. Garchomp hard counters this thing. There's no way that I lose this matchup because their electric moves are triple resistant. All they can do is hit me with mud shots. So, I'm going to go ahead and throw a Sand Tomb here. And I'm looking to basically throw one Sand Tomb. They're not going to shield, and I'll just farm all the way down. And I know that I'm going to be met and farmed down by this Togekiss, but because I'm keeping alignment, I'm not worried about it. And basically what's going to end up happening here is I'm going to try and get a some Dragon Tails off, get the Sand Tomb off to try and debuff the Togekiss just a little bit so that they are extra disincentivized to stay in against my Metagross. Not that they're going to in the first place, but just for a little bit extra. Because all the damage I'm doing is triple resisted anyway, so there's really no point in me trying to, go for the Earth Power or anything. I just, get a little bit of debuff and make them force them to stay out. So Gyarados comes in against the Haxorus. Opponent swaps out immediately. I'm going to meet it with the Haxorus because Haxorus is able to resist all of the water damage that this Gyarados is putting out. If it was a Dragon Breath Gyarados, I probably would have stayed in with Metagross a little bit longer. Maybe throwing a Meteor Mash and trying to chip it down. But either way, because it's Waterfall Gyarados, Haxorus, even though the counters are resisted, is able to throw these Night Slashes and Dragon Claws out super quick. And in doing so, is able to overwhelm this Gyarados in 2 shields. So, I'm going to go for the Night Slashes here. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll throw the Dragon Claw first, just to be able to get the chunk damage, because it does do more damage. And then they have more shield, they're pressured to shield more often with the Night Slashes that come their way, and I'm just fishing for a boost at that point. So, I'm actually going to let this go, because I'm at the point now where my Metagross could farm the Gyarados down, or they just swap the Togekiss in at the same time, because they're trying to catch me off guard, but nope, Metagross is going to come in and absolutely destroy this Togekiss, and then all I have to do with the shield is farm down the Gyarados, and that is a good game. My opponent concedes the match. Not much you could do, unfortunately. My opponent was quite hard countered in that matchup, but just knowing the mastery of the game here like this is going to be essential. Thank you. And so Dragon Breath Gyarados in the lead, as well as Waterfall Gyarados. So when it comes to the Gyarados lead, it's kind of a core breaker to this team in a way. So Dragon Breath Gyarados, like you see here, I will stay in, let them throw a Crunch, and I will shield the Crunch, because they're not going to bait me with Aqua Tail. They're going to go for the Crunch. So I will land the Meteor Mash. They never shield the Meteor Mash because they know they live it. But now it puts Garchomp in a position where, even though it's taking super effective Dragon Breath damage, look at how much damage those Dragon Tails do. Neutral Dragon Tails just ripping apart this Gyarados. And now the Gyarados is in a place where it doesn't really bother me anymore. It's got no energy, and it's got no HP left. So the best thing it's going to do is because sack swap for the opponent. So they come in with Snorlax. And being down to shield, the Dragon Tails and the Sand Tombs are going to add up really, really quick. And if my opponent doesn't throw a move immediately, they are going to take a lot of extra damage that they don't need to take. And then I can just bring in Haxorus at this point, counter it down, and I'm not really worried about Gyarados, so I have to figure out what they've got in the back. And because they led Gyarados, I typically assume that they've got, some answer to Charmers in the back. Daughter wants my cookie. But everything at this point is so low that I just need to use this last shield wisely. And I'm looking to farm down here. And the reason why is because Metagross with the energy, as everyone in this league knows, is super dangerous. They go for a superpower and swap Nope, they don't swap. I figured they would swap there. Immediately goes down, and all they've got in the back is a Garchomp, and I'm pretty sure I saw Mud Shot. Now, Haxorus is about to come in with one shield and outpace this Garchomp to 2 Dragon Claws. Now, 2 Dragon Claws aren't necessarily going to be enough. My opponent tries to catch a move, and they unfortunately fail because I was expecting to overfarm, so that then gives me the extra farm I need to be able to reach even a 3rd Dragon Claw before they can get to 2 Outrages. So this is looking like a good game, and that's it. You see the Dragon Tail Garchomp is like the key to this team. It draws out the Togekiss or the other fairy type that may be lurking in the back, and then if they don't have a fairy type, it can literally 2 shield through everything else. Like steel types, 2 shield. It can go through any dragon type with the 2 shield. This thing can go through a Dragonite with 2 shields. Even 1 shield, honestly, because the Dragonite doesn't live that long. But yeah, this thing's insane. And I absolutely believe this thing is completely busted. So, getting into this next game here. Waiting for some booms, man. I need to clap something really hard, and I need to hit that button. So Magnezone lead. Immediately I'm coming in with Garchomp. This is technically the hard counter, but because of the counter damage that my Haxorus puts out, it's actually technically the better response to Magnezone. So you see my opponent counter swapped with a Mud Shot Garchomp, and they had no reason to shield that because they're going to go down anyway. So they're going to get a shield from me, though, correctly calling the outrage, which is great. And then, literally, look at those Dragon Tails, dude. There's just absolutely no way that Garchomp had a chance. And they come in with Metagross. And now, I'm going to throw the Earth Power, because that's all I'm going to need to do. I'm going to go for this Earth Power and hope it lands. Let's see if my opponent wants to shield this Earth Power. Nope! They don't shield the Earth Power. And I'm going to be able to take that game because my opponent, their lose condition was definitely taking the Earth Power. So, on to the next game. Gyarados lead once again. I think Gyarados is probably the most common lead I've seen in this cup. Aside from that, like fairies, I don't really see a whole lot of Metagross leads though, to be honest. But they all treat him the same. So the Waterfall Gyarados. Once I notice that it's Waterfall, I immediately safe switch Garchomp. Garchomp takes neutral damage from the water moves and the crunch, and honestly, the Aqua Tails don't hurt that bad. So I'm gonna try and get this thing as low as I can because again, I don't want my Metagross against this thing. However, I'm kind of expecting them to have an Excadrill in the back. So it is to my advantage here to get switch advantage. And my opponent shields the Sand Tomb. Maybe they were fearing an Outrage. But either way, at this point, I'm going to be able to commit one more shield if I need to. And even then, a move from this range does not KO. So I can let this go and save my shield. And what I'm looking to do now is hopefully they bring in the Excadrill, because then I'll have one alignment. But it's a tie. We both hang out with 1 HP after those fast moves, and my opponent is able to get us to a point where it's just a gamble, coin toss. Who's going to come in with the hard counter? They come in with the Garchomp right before the timer expires, and I am able to call it correctly because I was looking at the top right. As soon as I saw the Garchomp, I tapped on my Metagross because that is the thing that I want to see, just in case it has Dragon Tail. Now, if the Garchomp had Dragon Tail, I'm definitely staying with Metagross, but because it has Mud Shot, you know what? That's fine. I'll kick my own button on my own Pokemon because I can. So they come with Rhyperior. Now the whole team here is going to be weak to Haxorus. The reason why I let my Metagross go is because I expected them to have something weak to Metagross in the back, or weak to counter in the back, because of the fact that they had Gyarados in the lead, which is kind of one of those things, just like, you know, Gyarados double steal or something like that, you know. So I just kind of banked on them being weak to this, weak to Haxorus in the back. But now I've got like 2 Dragon Claws at this point, so the opponent is pretty much done here. But had that been a Dragon Tail, I definitely would have stayed in with the Metagross. But I was looking to, I could have actually come in with my Haxorus right away once I saw it was Mud Shot. But just to save the shields and get them to use the energy on my Metagross to save the shield for Haxorus, that was kind of the plan there. So not a good game to my opponent. And this is a 10-0 streak, by the way. I don't even lose in this set because this team is just so darn good. So, Excadrill lead. Safe swap into Garchomp yet again. Looking to get lead, but the thing is that, you know, Garchomp can take a drill run if it needs to, but I'll usually shield it just to make sure that I can definitely win the matchup, because if I have a Sand Tomb loaded, that's a problem for my opponent. But I decided to let this go. It's really just kind of how I'm feeling. Sometimes I'll shield that drill run, sometimes I won't. If they really want to throw the drill run, that's fine. But now they've got a Snorlax locked in against my Garchomp. And I'm going to go and just keep flumping off these Dragon Tails and Sand Tombs and just wear this thing down to the point where I can either farm it down with Haxorus or I can farm it down with Metagross. Now, excuse me, because my opponent had an Excadrill in the lead and they have a Snorlax in the back, this team's definitely like double or triple weak to Haxorus. So Haxorus with 2 shields and some energy will be able to probably rip through the rest of this team. But I bring in my Metagross here just to get them to throw the energy. Haxorus is fairly squishy, and I'm not interested in getting wrecked by a Snorlax right now. So they come in with Excadrill, lose switch in doing so, and now Haxorus is going to be able to just absolutely rip this Excadrill in half. And this is, I mean, unless they have something like a Charmer in the back, even if they have a Charmer in the back, I've got a Metagross with a lot of HP. So countering down the entire Excadrill, looking to see what my opponent comes in with, and it's Gyarados. I didn't get to see what fast move it had, so it could be either one, but in either case, I've got so much energy, and my opponent shields, it's Dragon Breath Gyarados. So this is a problem, but I can live any one charge move from this range. So basically what I'm looking to do, thank you, baby, is, you know, get the shields and land some damage and let Metagross finish up for me here, because I'm not worried about it. I've still got a shield, and I'm going to come in with my Metagross, force him to throw some energy here, and I'm going to shield because I'm expecting that they threw the crunch, but they baited me with Aqua Tail. But I'm going to be able to go for, almost go for, the Meteor Mash, but they get the Aqua Tail. Now, I wonder if they didn't have the crunch, or maybe they don't run crunch. So it was interesting to me, but I'm going to go for this Meteor Mash. This is basically going to take out the Gyarados at this point, and then the Snorlax has like no HP left, and that's a good game. Well played to my opponent, though. Next game here, we've got Metagross on the lead versus yet another Gyarados. So, Gyarados everywhere in this meta. It's super strong, super versatile, can run a couple of different movesets, still do very well. So, once again, because it's Dragon Breath, I'm going to stay in the lead for one Meteor Mash, throw it, shield the crunch, and then dip out to my Garchomp once they've tanked it. And again, this puts that Gyarados down on range where if they stay in, try and get off another charge move or do some damage, now their Gyarados is absolutely useless against the rest of my team. It has no energy and has very low HP. So it's just farm for me at this point, unless they use it as a safe swap. But here comes Melodic. Melodic is running Waterfall. It can also run Dragon Tail. So both ways, this is actually not great for me. But because it's running Waterfall, my Haxorus actually has a lot of play against it. Now, they did correctly shield the Earth Power, which sucks. But I am able to get to the Sand Tomb. And the Sand Tomb is going to allow me to lower the defense of the Melodic that just switched in. So I'm going to be able to do that much more damage with Haxorus when it comes in just a moment. Now, I know that Melodic can run Hyper Beam, and it can run Blizzard. So I'm going to come in with Metagross to force them to throw a Surf, which is going to use up some energy. Even though it's, you know, I'm doing resistant damage, now that they've used up some energy, I'm going to come in with my Haxorus, and I'm going to look to get to this Dragon Claw right before, but they cannot. I get the... I don't get to it in time, and they do throw the Surf, but it's only a Surf. And now they come in with Magnezone. Game over, man. Team was like double weak in the back to Haxorus. Haxorus core breaking yet again. Another team. This is basically a good game. I can even tank the Wild Charge here if I want to. And then just use my energy and my shield to take out Melodic in the back. So, this team, this is what it did all week for me so far. It's so insane. It has so much play against everything. So, this is going to be another good game to my opponent. Here we go again. Metagross in the lead against yet another freaking Gyarados. You would think that I would start running Magnezone or something, but the Metagross has just been way too consistent. So once I see that it's running what looks like Waterfall, I didn't see Waterfall for a minute, so I thought maybe it was Dragon Tail, but once I saw that I wasn't taking resisted damage, it was Waterfall. So I'm coming in immediately. I'm going to shield the first move because I expect them to like basically do a crunch and dip kind of situation, but they stay in. So I'm going to throw the Sand Tomb. This is probably when they swap out, because most opponents will swap out if they receive a debuff, just like that. Metagross comes in, and I'm looking to just go straight Sand Tomb here. I know that after they tank a second Sand Tomb, they're going down. And I could commit one shield in this matchup and be just fine. So, going to continue to throw these Dragon Tails at this Metagross, and here's the move. Gonna let it go. Why? Haxorus, that's why. Opponent has a Waterfall Gyarados with almost no HP left. So you can see where this is going. Going to come in with the Haxorus because Haxorus is going to be able to do quite a bit of counter damage. Look at the counters, dude. They're just adding up. And I can just shield this once. And Haxorus with a bunch of energy, probably not going to get countered here. Unless they come in with another Charmer. But my opponent just lets it go. It looks like they may have lagged. Or they're just like, nah, screw it, I'm done. But no, they look like they lagged because Gyarados comes in and throws a fast move. And now I'm going to go for Night Slashes. They've got 2 shields. I want to start fishing for the boost. And because they came in with Gyarados, I'm assuming that what they have in the back is weak to Haxorus. So I get a boost. And now I'm just going to be able to continue getting shields and do a lot of damage. Look at how much damage these counters are doing. They're resisted. And my opponent gets to a move here, which is tough. But it's Crunch, and I live a Crunch just barely. And they come in with Magnezone, throwing me a resisted Spark, which doesn't do enough to take me out, which allows me to get to the Night Slash. And then because I was boosted, I stay into that one last fast move, and I'm going to be able to get to this Meteor Mash before the opponent is able to get to basically 2 Wild Charges after taking out at that point. So Meteor Mash comes through, hits the Magnezone, and then at this point it's just a farm down for the Gyarados. That is a good game. Well played to my opponent. So many teams are so weak to Haxorus in this meta. Here's another one. Look, it's Magnezone. Everything on this team has play against Magnezone. So once again, going to swap in to the Garchomp. Garchomp safe swap is so good, even against the Primarina. So, Primarina comes in. I'm going to throw an Earth Power. They answered me with a Charmer. So unless this is Magnezone, Double Charm, I highly doubt they're going to have a lot of play against me. No, look, the Earth Power goes through. Now, I'm not going to be able to get to another Sand Tomb, fortunately, but Metagross can come in and farm this down just a little bit. And all we need is to get a little bit of energy. And I could probably even threaten the Magnezone with a Meteor Mash or an Earthquake if I wanted to. But they're going to come in with Gyarados. Gyarados is their hard answer. So, once again, a team that is double weak to Haxorus. Here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. It's the same old song and dance as just about every single game in this meta because there's literally 8 things you can play in it. They shield the Meteor Mash because they don't want to take the damage. And gonna tank the Crunch. I'm saving my shield for Haxorus. Haxorus is now going to come in, and they swap in the Magnezone on the fly, and this is going to get countered down by Haxorus. I don't even need to shield this, but I'm going to anyway just to preserve some HP because I think they're probably going to throw the Wild Charge at this point, and I'm going to double shield because I feel like a Wild Charge will hit harder than anything that Gyarados is going to throw at me. But they hit me with a Mirror Shot, so good play on my opponent's end to get me with that bait move to try and lower my attack since this is basically switch locked in. But to no avail. Thankfully, it's not a guaranteed attack drop, so Night Slash is going to come through. And we're going to just start fishing for a boost here. And that's all she wrote. As soon as this other Night Slash goes through, my opponent has the shield. Now the shield's gone. And I'm still going to get to this Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw, I don't think is quite enough to take it out. But we're chipping it down, and we're going to be able to get this opponent out of here just shortly. I'm going to bring in Metagross just to force them to throw some energy. And we tie going down, but Haxorus is still in the back, able to take it because it was alive. So, next game, we got Metagross into Snorlax. This is a horrible lead because the lick damage adds up so quickly. So once again, going to go into Garchomp. Opponent comes in with Togekiss, and this is exactly what I want to see. I want to see the Togekiss come in and counter my Garchomp Safe Switch. Because Metagross can farm this thing all the way down. Commit 1 shield to the Flamethrower that's definitely going to be coming my way. And this is one of those situations where I can get to 2 Sand Tombs. Now, if the opponent sneaks a Charm through, I'm not getting to that second Sand Tomb. But that's okay. Because now Metagross comes in, walls this thing. I do have to I have to put 1 shield up because they do have a Flamethrower ready. But once the Flamethrower comes in, I'm just farming it all the way down. And that's all she wrote, man. The opponents basically got to shield this, or they're going to take a ton of damage on their Snorlax. Despite how bulky the Snorlax is, these Meteor Mashes are going to hit really hard. And I let them throw their energy here. Because I would rather take the energy on Metagross, even if it's a superpower, rather than tank it on my Haxorus, because it will do much more damage there. So, going to go for this Meteor Mash. and gonna see if the Snorlax has committed shield. They do not. I'm immediately coming in with Haxorus. They're out of energy, and I'm gonna be able to get to a move before they do if I want to. But opponent throws alignment, I'm able to sneak this counter through, so they can either have to switch out or they're gonna take the counter and lose it to Snorlax. Snorlax does go down, and Gyarados with Waterfall. Once again, a team that is double weak to Haxorus, just like I predicted, ladies and gentlemen. Going fishing for this boost here. Night Slashes are going to come out in rapid succession, looking to throw with good timing if I possibly can, just to prevent my opponent from getting too much free energy. So throwing on the fourth one, going to go for the Dragon Claw here just to try and throw my opponent off guard, because Dragon Claw, again, does a little bit more damage. And then they expected a Night Slash. Now basically I can just farm down and that's it. So well played to my opponent. Not even need to shield this because Metagross has enough HP to get the move off. But they get me with the Outrage, which is definitely Kaboom worthy. There it is. Outrage collapsed my Haxorus, but then they get farmed down. That's a good game. On to the next battle. Do believe this is the last one. Thank you for sticking with me this long. This has been a great, fun set of battles to go over here. So Garchomp lead. This is a Dragon Tail Garchomp, so I'm fine to stay in this. And I will tank the first Sand Tomb, and then swap to my own Garchomp. Hopefully that scares them to get out of dodge. So there's the Sand Tomb, and then I'm coming in with my Garchomp. And they are going to immediately switch into Snorlax, and this is not a match that Snorlax wins, especially if I decide to commit any shields. Unless they throw an Outrage at my face, which probably isn't going to happen. So, here comes the... Or there went the Sand Tomb, I should say, but I'm looking to get another one off. I'm going to shield just in case they have Outrage. It's just a Body Slam. That's okay. Now, going to go for the Sand Tomb. I'm just looking to throw their defenses down. If I don't win switch, that's okay. Because the opponent has a Dragon Tail Garchomp, I just need to keep it on my Metagross if I can. And I know it's out of energy, basically. So Body Slam's going to come through. I'm basically calling it right now. They probably just run a Superpower, which is fine. Here comes the Primarina, which I'm really surprised they didn't bring this in the first place. I make a mistake and not go for the Earth Power. I should have gone for Earth Power here, but I didn't think it was going to make it. So I go for the Sand Tomb instead. So Metagross is going to come back in. It's still going to come back in. Metagross basically has to carry this whole team on his back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Haxorus real quick to try and get this thing, the shields off of this Garchomp. Save my shield for Metagross. And then what I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to be able to use Metagross's Bullet Punches to resist, and Steel typing to resist the charms and destroy the Primarina. And at this point, Garchomp can have it. That's okay. It's one shield to one shield, but I've got a ton of energy loaded. I'm going to see if they want to waste their shield. Well, it's not a waste. This is where you should put the shield up. They're going to put the shield up. There it goes. And then I'm going to look to farm down with the shield, because I have to shield the Sand Tomb at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to continue farming. Knowing now that this Garchomp is once again out of energy, I'm going to be able to farm it down, but I'm going straight for the Meteor Mash. Again, I know that the Garchomp is more moves away from another charge move than they're going to be able to handle, and so I'm going to be able to basically farm everything down at this point, mowing through dragons with Bullet Punches from the Metagross. Once again, Metagross Double Dragon taking the win. Very good game to my opponent there. They almost got me, but again, this is a 22-3 day. There was nothing bad happening today. I was absolutely just took the meta by storm, and just this team is so good, man. I'm telling you. So once again, if you don't have Haxorus, play the Gyarados like Wallower was playing. He has a video out on that team, so go check his channel out. He's an awesome dude. And so let's say thank you guys so much for checking out this video, and hopefully you found it quite helpful and entertaining. Huge shout out to my Patreon supporters. You guys are the best. Couldn't do this without you guys. And if you guys want to join the Patreon and get teams like this before they come out to YouTube, before anybody else gets them, link in the description and in the video for that as well. I'm also on Metafy now. So if you're looking for PvP coaching, getting ready for regionals, getting ready for internationals, want to get better at Go Battling, check out my Metafy link in the description and in the video. And appreciate your patience. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.